For this fourth UKIE Mini Tip video, I'm going to look at some of the very basics of creating surfaces from TOPO drawings. Often you will find that a surveyor will issue a standard AutoCAD DWG file containing his results. And the starting point of most Civil 3D schemes will begin with an existing ground surface. So it's important you get this bit right. If the starting point is wrong, then the end result will almost certainly be compromised. So I'm going to open an old drawing I have. This is a survey done in 2005 and it represents a scheme to build a small housing estate. The site has remained undeveloped, but nevertheless, this old survey may give me some insight into the makeup of the site. First things first, I want to make sure I'm looking at the correct data. I can't see the coordinates right now, but simply clicking the hamburger icon here will allow me to switch on the coordinate display. Yeah, and this looks sort of right. However, I can't see the geolocation toolbar on the ribbon, and trying to switch on online maps manually on the command line means I will need to search and position the site. But I simply don't want to do this. I want it in the position the surveyor intended. And if I did this, I'd end up introducing inaccuracies by matching points. So let's cancel this. In the UKIE Country Kit for Civil 3D 2020, it's easy to geolocate. Simply bring up the tool palettes by clicking this button. And if it's not already defaulted, click on the UKIE tab to find this icon here. And click. Done! Notice the geolocation toolbar has now appeared, and we can use the online map tools with the drawing. Here I'm just making sure the drawing is indeed in the spot where I thought it was, by using both road and aerial maps. Now, I want to make an existing ground surface. Let's go for it. I'll give it a name and choose contours as the style. Oh, no contours. That's because this is a standard AutoCAD drawing and this doesn't contain any Civil 3D styles. Now, best practice here is to cut and paste the geometry into a new Civil 3D drawing. You can simply click this icon here to open the UKIE template, and this contains all the UKIE styles. It is a blank drawing, but it is correctly georeferenced. Now all you need to do is find the stuff you want and cut and paste it between drawings. It's good practice to be selective. Maybe use the layer isolate command. Yeah, before using it, I'm going to ensure that the settings are set to switch off the unwanted geometry. Now I can choose one item in the drawing and it will isolate everything else on that same layer. Now I can select it all. Choose Cut to remove it from the drawing. Wait, why cut? Why didn't I copy? Surely that would have been better. Well, no. If I unisolate, you will see there are other points on a different layer that you may have missed if you had used copy. I'll come back and get those later, but for now I'm going to use the best command in the book. Paste to original coordinates. And those points are now in the blank template in the correct position. I just need to change the point style so you can see them. Brilliant. Now we can make the surface. I always number my surface just so they appear in the correct order in the tool space. And now I have the surface, I can assign it to a relevant style. Lots to choose from. I wanted contours. Done. And here it is in the browser. We just need to add the points to start building it up. I'll give them a name to differentiate them from the next ones we're going to copy over. And I just need to select the object on screen. And Bob's your uncle, fun is your aunt. We have a contoured surface. Once confirmed as added, it's always worth freezing off the defining geometry so you don't accidentally add it again. And of course, I would always check the result inside Object Viewer to make sure it's looking as expected. Cool. Okay, so back to the original. You can see this cut and paste idea has left me with the geometry I've yet to use. This is helpful. These feature points here represent the base of an old oil drum and tank. I'll cut those out and add them to my surface using the same techniques as before. Notice I've given them a different name, which means I can remove them from the surface if I choose to later on. I'll freeze these off too. And so back to the original topo drawing, and we can see what's left. This final geometry are lines and polylines representing feature edges. Maybe you should isolate these as we did before, but as they're all that's left, I'll simply cut them out and paste them in. Now I can add these to the surface. These will be break lines. Don't be tempted to add them as drawing objects because you will not get an edge. Expand the surface in the tool space and you'll find the break lines container. Give them a name and select the objects with a crossing window. You don't have to worry about you selecting other objects because we've been freezing off the old ones, remember? Sorted. We'll freeze these off now too as they've been processed and they're already added to the surface. A quick peek inside Object Viewer and you can see the channel edges are now obvious and that the oil drum base has been added. We can also draw a line across this feature and use the Quick Profile tool to get a section. Here you can see an exaggerated section through it. Nice. As you can see, this section remains dynamic. Changing its position will change the section. So the idea of cutting and pasting geometry from a topo survey really helps you get a good existing ground surface. As you've seen, selectively choosing items and removing items from the original drawing has a number of benefits. Number one, you'll know what's left to process. Number two, you'll understand the features that have been surveyed. And number three, you won't leave anything behind. Freezing the geometry, once you've added it to the existing ground, also gives you benefits. Firstly, you'll be left without a mess of stuff you have already processed. And secondly, you won't accidentally add geometry twice. Okay, thank you for watching this UKIE Mini Tip video. My name is Joe Wright.